Nice.
I have often discovered during this month it is refreshing to dust off the old, as in how I do an intro to a video, and then just dive straight in, which is why I'm prattling on for the first 10 seconds. Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I would like to talk about the rather cringy backlash concerning people's perspectives of Grand Theft Auto 6's trailer. I'm going to insert a belief. Upon watching that trailer 5 times, I do believe that trailer is in reverse. It does come across as a possibility. Either that or we're getting an Ocean's 11 Take 2 Electric Boogaloo without the 12 and 13 that never happened, nor did the all-women reboot continuation. That was also dog shit, but not as bad as 12 and 13. I was very excited, and I'm going to be very excited, enough so that I may have to get myself a PS5 just to play this. I have, and still have, every single version of the game. When it was first created in Scotland of all places, I have kept my copies from PlayStation 1 all the way up to PS3. I also have it on the PS4 as well, oddly enough, but I do have it on the PS3 as well. That's how long it's been. An entire generation of PlayStation. That is impressive. How people have responded to this does remind me of some of the backlash to previous games. During Gamergate, this game was often used as a talking point about how men treat women in the form of prostitutes. The running gag being, you get a hooker and then you get your refund. Not because you're a stellar performer in your driver's seat. No, definitely not. No, because you run her over and you leave her there, get out of your car while she's still under it, and get your change. The fact the game contained violence, which was part and parcel of the game, to be honest, it always was. When GTA 3 came out, it was considered a trailblazer because of what it was, what it represented as an open world. It certainly opened up if you had the cheat codes without any repercussions, which was great, something which they addressed in GTA San Andreas. But the world opened up and it became something for you to enjoy. GTA 6 takes us back to, I believe, where many of us, the players, have wanted to go back since the 80s. Tommy Vercetti era Vice City, which, as many know, is based on Florida, Miami, Florida. It's based on that because, yes, Vice City, it's in the bloody name. It's a fantastic idea, and we are all looking forward to it. We got a fantastic Liberty City with Nico Bellic. We got a fantastic San Andreas with Franklin and Trevor. No one cares about Michael. And hopefully, GTA 6 will give us another great series of protagonists, or singular, and another great story in a city we all want to go back to, which will undoubtedly, because Rockstar are dickheads, be hacked within 5 minutes of the online aspect being online, or be released and be buggy, because that's pretty much every new game released these days, with patch updates larger than the original files. Bethesda, I am looking at you. The response from many online though has been hilarious. In This Week at Twitter, I did go through some tweets. I'm going to bring them back here because I went and found the original tweet just to make sure that these were actually tweeted out by these people, because there are some relevant points to make as well. How some commentators online have responded, not just on YouTube but on Rumble, is fascinating to me. I personally do not care who plays the game. It is rated a particular way. That means children should not be playing it. If the parents allow their children to play it, that's on the parents, not us. How we police that is, well, to do it, you have to curtail people's freedoms. And many of us are firmly in favour of freedom. I am especially. If the parent makes that choice, that's on them, not me. If the child grows up and decides to imitate the video game with a bit of, I don't know, prostitute fun time, that's also on the parent. And then the child who's now an adult. That might be a bad take to some people, but I don't care enough. I just want to play the bloody game that I've waited 10 years for. What I want to do now is go through some tweets relevant to this. Go through the tweets and then some articles related as well. Kettlebell Life, a list of games I have not played. GTA 1, GTA 2, GTA 3, GTA 4, GTA 5, GTA 6. You have not included the following: Vice City, San Andreas, Liberty City Stories, and Vice City Stories. There might be one missing. It should be noted no one's played GTA 6, but there were some clips being shared by a TikTok account called IC in 4K that posted clips of what they alleged to be GTA 6. There's even an article on this. Whether it's true or not, I'm not entirely sure, but I'll link the article and the TikTok down below if you're interested in checking them out. Elon Musk though replied to this by saying, tried, but didn't like doing crime. GTA 5 required shooting police officers in the opening scene, just couldn't do it. Well, that's where you started wrong. You should have started with GTA 3, or 1 and 2. Different view, but still fun. 3 though, you get into a car with 8-ball and drive away. In fact, you don't really go after police officers in a negative manner until later. If you get really bored because you work for the mob at the start, you're doing other protection missions. And then obviously when you are made, no? Is that the word? You end up taking out Salvatore Leone, who you meet again in San Andreas, because San Andreas is set 7 years before GTA 3. Which is very fascinating, isn't it? Let's just love a history lesson. The funny thing about the GTA games in that time is that Vice City came out after GTA 3, but Vice City was set before both San Andreas and GTA 3. Set in the 80s, GTA San Andreas set in the, was it early to mid 90s? And GTA 3 later on in the 90s. Kinda cool, right? Replies to Elon Musk. Justin Wang, you might like this game, it's about being gay. Elon, 3 minutes into the prologue mission when the cops show up. Did you follow the traffic laws and stop at all the red lights? By the way, someone did do that, and you find the game is impossible. It really is. I thought he might have been trolling with this, and I'll get to why in a moment, although some of you might have noticed. The final reply of interest. Wahahahaha. Bro has maxed out on virtue signaling. Lol. Just an FYI to you, you did not need to include an LOL after starting with wahahahaha. The following tweets featured in This Week at Twitter, so we're going to get through them quite quickly. Rev Lascaris, we need to ban GTA 6, children should not be playing this game. Hashtag ban GTA 6, community note pointing out these games have mature ratings on them. They always have. Tipster retweeted with, the game's rated M for mature, it's clearly marketed at adults, not kids. Jack Thompson failed on this stupid crusade and you won't get much further with it, get a clue. Somebody had attempted to shame another individual. The individual was called George. Some DMs were shown. Whether they're real or not, I'm not entirely sure. I'll read the messages though before we get to some replies to that. Do you not think it looks like a film? It looks proper real. Reply, you're not wasting a week of annual leave on that. Reply, you don't get it. Ah ha 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 ha. It's gonna be phenomenal. No, I really am. I will take a Friday it comes out and then the following week. Reply, the following week, crying emojis. Reply, yeah, 10 days total. Reply, ah ha 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 ha, going on for a while. Reply, you don't get it. I spent thousands of hours on GTA 5 over the years, maybe 10k plus. Reply, listen to yourself. This was shared by Renwick, who wrote, almost 22 years of age. I'm almost 38, and I have quite a few hours in quite a few games. Maybe it's a damning statement of society and I need to make a large philosophical point about it. We all need to grow up. No. Sometimes it's nice to have a game we can play. It should be surely quite impressive then at this point you have him in the first place. When if he's invested as much time to this game as he says, surely he didn't have time for whoever his partner is, whether that be the person tweeting this or whether it be somebody else. This tweet from Renwick was retweeted by Storb Kitsune, who had said, if your partner doesn't let you be excited about your interests, bin them. If they publicly shame you for your interests, bin them. If my partner shamed me for annual leave for Dragon Age, I'd bin him. I hope George enjoys his 10 days off in 2025 playing GTA 6 in peace. Couldn't agree more. I'm looking forward to this game coming out. I very much remember when San Andreas first came out and I waited for this game to come out. I got it immediately. I was there for the pre-release at a shop that no longer exists. I think it was Game Station in Lowestoft. For 2 to 3 consecutive days I was playing that. I was in college at that point. I would sit in front of my TV, my little horrible TV, which I still have, and I played for days. To the point I remembered I'd forgotten to breathe at a point, and that was when I stopped. I was like, you know what, I'm going to go to bed now, and then go to the job centre. There are things I'm very passionate about, and if somebody looked down on that, on those passions and those interests, I think you'll find that person isn't worth having in your life. But I can understand at the same time when one does not understand that level of passion and interest, because they can't compare it to their own passions and interests. It might seem to some as being something not worth investing your time in, but you chose that person to be with anyway. And this guy is at least giving his partner more than a year's warning that for 10 days of that 365 days in a year, that's it, you're not going to have access to this person, emotionally, sexually. Which I think, all things considered, since communication is vitally important to many relationships, is a good thing. I just hope the story in this game is better than the predecessor. That's not to say it's bad, but I just want it to keep improving, being better. One can certainly hope it is anyway. I've just realised a minor error on my part. You may have noticed I read a retweet from Tipster for a different tweet. Yeah, it turns out I put my tweets in the order of the time they were released, and Tipster's retweet to Rev Lascaris was later. So I'm going to do that now, where he'd said the right-wing anti-woke crowd has become the SJWs they used to make fun of. The original retweet was to Jackson Hinkle talking about Zionists, with a community note saying Rockstar is not affiliated with any Zionism movement. The user is known for spreading misinformation to boost engagements and interactions. You mean like all the thoughts that are getting a Take-Two electric boogaloo right now? So I earlier said there was something really interesting about Elon Musk tweeting that one statement, and I said you might have noticed it earlier on. And that is because the image I showed of the trailer being released by Rockstar Games had been reposted by Elon Musk. And I put it in the correct timeline. He had reposted it on the 6th of December, a day after his initial tweet, where he said he wouldn't, play these kind of games. He's more a Pong Tetris kind of guy. Or maybe he's more of a Yu-Gi-Oh! Stairway to the Destined Duel Game Boy Advance kind of game player. If you are, I'll duel you all. Let me get my white glove and smack you around the mush with it. Jackson Hinkle had been retweeted again, but this time by Undoom. Jackson Hinkle had said, I was offered to be in GTA 6. I can't speak much about it, but like you, I was disgusted by the level of degenerate filth in the trailer. So I told Rockstar to F off. In a world plagued by OnlyFans and smut, I pray that Rockstar Games finds God and bans GTA 6. Undoomed. I too was offered a role in GTA 6, but I turned it down because they offered me too much money and the giant hangar where I keep my money was full. I told them to use it to save the whales. Then everyone cried and clapped and offered to be the mother of my children. Congratulations, Undoomed, you skank. Drama alert. GTA 6 female protagonist might be non-binary. What pronouns do you think Lucia uses? Readers added context. There is no evidence to support that any of the GTA 6 protagonists are non-binary. This is an attempt from Drama Alert to rage bait interactions for money from Twitter Blue. Well, they certainly weren't going to earn anything the moment you put the community note in. It is well known that if you get a community note, you no longer receive any money for your tweet. Jalen, bad YouTube content included Sensitive Society. GTA 6 is trans now, brackets, with proof. I know nothing of Sensitive Society, but that title could well be bait. Jeopardy Data Queen retweeted Jalen by saying, I legitimately believe that these people saw a trans woman they thought was really sexy once, then wanked it to her before knowing. And now they're so traumatized that they furiously transvestigate every woman who isn't traditionally feminine or whatever. Spinosaurus Kin, David, Discord Spies, retweeted Drama Alert who had said, Tate Brothers speaking out against GTA 6. Quote, I'm not a fan of anyone under the age of 18, 21 maybe playing video games where the goal is to shoot police officers.
New GTA 6 is out. Have you ever played any GTA? This is a genuine question. I've never played any of them.
I believe that I played the first one. That's like a top-down, bird's-eye view kind of 2D game without any real graphic violence back when I was maybe 10 or 11 or 12, whenever it came out. I do recall that. But you know what? I want to speak about GTA 6 while you're on the topic, because now we're actually talking about something that's relatively important. Video games aren't necessarily evil. But I remember when video games, because I'm very old, I'm an old man, I remember you used to play a little man in a red hat trying to rescue a princess and teaming up with your brother. Now, if rescuing purity from evil while teaming up for your brother isn't a good theme of a video game, then I don't really know what is. I'm not a fan of anyone under the age of 18, 21 maybe, playing video games where the goal is to shoot police officers.
That is from the Rumble Tate Speech channel. Discord Spies, David, Spinosaurus Kin had said, it's funny how their hatred for video games was originally presented as I'm too cool and based in alpha to have time to play them. And now they're losing that cultural battle, have turned into your mum saying, oh honey, isn't that a bit too violent? Also saying your based alpha Chad leader has the same opinions as my mum who didn't want me playing Halo because of the blood. Lol, Lamau. I feel like one of those doesn't need to be there, Dave. Thought you'd know better by now. When I saw people getting really annoyed about GTA 6, I made my view quite clear that you need to sit on a cactus loaded with vinegar. My opinion on that is not going to change. Linked in the pinned comment are going to be a number of articles and all these tweets. The one article I really want to focus on is from The Independent, titled, I'm no prude, but GTA 6 should give us cause for concern. The GTA franchise has always been dogged by moral panic. No, this forthcoming sequel won't turn children into killers, but let's not pretend the game isn't without its problems. Sure, it's not full of problems from a 1-minute 34-second trailer that showcased some of the more ostentatious aspects of society in current year, in an area of a fictitious region based on Florida, so not entirely fictitious, known for its more extroverted activities, in virtually every kind of vice you can think of. The article itself isn't that long, so I'm going to go through every paragraph so you can get the full context of why the writer, Louis Chilton, is a prude, as opposed to their statement, "I'm no prude." But the but part really does you no favours. How do you follow up a video game like Grand Theft Auto 5? Since its release in 2013, the crime and car theft game has sold nearly 200 million copies worldwide. It's one of the biggest selling games of all time, in fact. Critical acclaim has been just as fulsome. The game's vast, explorable open world was hailed as a high point for video game design, but the feverish wait for a sequel has stretched to over a decade, while they did focus on Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2. With GTA 6 only now finally unveiled by game studio Rockstar via a stunning trailer, we can expect months upon months of manic anticipation from advertisers and fans alike. Well, we have a whole year to prepare for it, so yes, we're going to get nice and moist. For all GTA's shiny accolades though, controversy has always tailed the franchise like a smut-seeking missile. The original GTA weathered claims that its low-resolution criminal violence would corrupt impressionable youths, an outrage that was in fact masterminded by publicist and, well, yeah, that person Max Clifford, to drum up sales. Whether it was a racial conflict, Vice City, explicit sex, San Andreas, or torture and drunk driving, GTA 4, each subsequent release seemed to usher in a new wave of, what the hell is that word? Opprobrium. I need to look that word up, give me a sec. Opprobrium, harsh criticism or censure. There's always one that has to put something in there to make it seem like they're smarter than they are. How gauche. To be clear, much of the backlash surrounding GTA has been tantamount to moral panic. Studies have refuted the idea that playing violent video games has any correlation with violent or antisocial behaviour, but that doesn't mean the franchise and players shouldn't take a long hard look at themselves before the release of GTA 6. Oh, I see some moral indignation here. Also, during Gamergate, that was a point often refuted. In fact, they argued that it encouraged certain types of culture, yes, which, as you now know, debunked. Part of the appeal of GTA, the core selling point in fact, is the idea of freedom. Yes, there is a long and involved storyline, but the game's fundamental hook lies in the ability to navigate the city at your own whims. Fancy speeding over a cliff? Sure. Stealing a car? Go for it. Getting in a shootout with the police? Fill your law-flouting boots. The problem is, the possibilities do not end there. Some other things your character can do on GTA 5 at the player's own volition: proposition and murder a sex worker, attempt to access a website, carry out a mass that. See what we're doing here? Now this might not mean anything. It's not an endorsement of real-life violence. Cherubic teenagers aren't being turned into a life of crime because of it. But the fact that the game can be used in this way obviously contravenes the boundaries of sensitivity and good taste. What is or is not good taste is quite subjective. Just thought I'd let you know. GTA has always fancied itself as a satire, a kind of wonky mirror warping the sexism, violence and capitalist excess of contemporary US culture into crude, cartoonish extremity. It is a satire, just not a very incisive one. People say that because they take too much offense to the truth of it. The problem is, what we've seen from the trailer is how it perceives those of the younger generation now. Not all of them. I'm sure we'll see some bums in it as well that don't want to work or achieve anything or accomplish anything. And because this is a game that places you in the shoes of a gun-toting murderous criminal, the lampoon never truly shakes off the ring of affirmation. It's a matter of having one's cake and eating it, or in this instance, having one's cake and violently terrorizing the erotic dancer who was concealed inside. If the franchise is to truly evolve with GTA 6, the satire has to show some keener insight and seeks to do more than just scandalize and hyperbolize. You're only saying that because you know damn well GTA 6 is likely to shit on those who are Democrat voters and Republican voters, those who are progressive and those who are conservative. You don't like that. You don't like that because you're going to be the butt of a joke, you prude. The final paragraph. If we are to scrutinize GTA as a work of art, entertainment first and foremost but art nonetheless, then the ethics of allowing players to simulate depraved behaviors can't be dismissed out of hand. It's part of the text. If, while watching The Godfather, you are always given the option to insert a bonus scene in which Michael Corleone walks into a McDonald's and starts hurling machetes at service staff, it's fair to say that the film's reputation would be somewhat different. I see your false equivalence. Don't forget here, a lot of GTA 3 Mafia stuff was inspired by this kind of crap. Just because GTA does not reward or necessitate evil does not mean that it should escape scrutiny for allowing players to participate in it. GTA has always danced around in the very corest recesses of the human psyche. Maybe it doesn't have to anymore. It never does. It presents what it sees and produces it as reductio ad absurdum. How are you this delicate? How did you get this far in life that you were able to string together an entire article where the only long word really was opprobrium? The rest of it is just you proving the point that you are a prude. In fact, that one word did it. You had to insert one word that I had to go and Google. I thought snowflakes were extinct.